Got it. Big one. It's episode 169.
Yeah, cool. Was anything with?
Yep. Nope. That's it.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That is cool. It's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. No, I mean, yeah.
13 squared.
So that's
the significance of that. So happy 169th episode.
Is that how many of those Colombian miners were trapped or something? 169 of them, something like that. There's something significant, or was that the Filipino swimmers? I don't know.
Have you seen the documentary on the Filipino swimmers?
Were they actually Filipino? I was mad. I was like, great. I just guessed a South Pacific country, and I was like, that
no, they were.
Right.
They were. It's definitely the Philippines. You were good. You're not racist. Not stereotyping at all.
I mean, not racist right there. Yeah, I was scared because I really almost just flung it from the hip from Malaysia, and I was like, that's not Malaysian. That's something else.
So yeah. Anyway,
I haven't seen it, but I'd be interested on that. That story's wild.
It's crazy, and it's the same people that did Free Solo, and I will watch Free Solo literally any time of the day, and I will never watch that Philippine the swimmers, like the cave diver thing ever again. Like that once was enough. Like that's all my heart could take.
Ooh, see that? I don't know if I can take it. I do like movies though or documentaries that do that for you, where you're just like, no, I got it. I it's no disrespect, but I will never watch that.
I will never watch that again.
Yeah, like the movie Sideways. Like I enjoyed it. I love wine, but I just can't. Paul Giamatti just spiraling and incessantly rambling and being anxious. I can't watch that ever again. That movie was a one-timer.
Yeah, no, that's only been a one-timer. We watched San Andreas last night. We just wanted to watch a disaster movie. And
that the one where the rock surfs on it in an earthquake?
Pretty much, yeah.
He rides a tsunami. Like
it's very
a tsunami, and he comes in and he's just like, I'm the Rock.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. That's one I don't know that I'll watch that again. I mean, it was like 20 minutes of acting, and the rest was just like, let's just let CGI go to work. And it was entertaining, and it was exactly what you would expect. Like my life was not better or poorer for it. It was cool it wasn't cool to watch. It was a
movie that did pass time that you were trying to pass.
Yeah, no, it lasted until it was time to go to bed. That was good. That's what I was looking for.
I can't do, I mean, I will watch them, but action movies just do nothing for me. They do nothing for me. I don't, it's so formulaic, and there's sometimes they're so bad, they get into like that weird zone of where it's like, oh, this rules. Like some of the Fast and the Furious are great just because they're bad. Or when The Rock shows up and he's jumping off a ramp into the back of a helicopter that's inside of a giant flying shark or something, like that kind of stuff. It's like that's ridiculous, and I like it.
Yeah,
but yeah, I just can't like those doomsday movie, the 2012 and all that. Just like I can't. If it's not Armageddon or something that's like just billions and billions of dollars that are spent on it or something, just it's something like that. I can't do it.
Yeah, no, I understand. That makes sense. Speaking of disaster, the Minnesota Twins. The Minnesota Twins. The Twins. Any thoughts on Carlos Correa going on a short-term
deal? Out of left field for everybody.
Yeah. Any thoughts on Carlos Correa going on a short-term deal to the Minnesota Twins? Oh no.
You're fine. Yeah, you keep talking. You're good.
All right. No, I got you.
Yeah. I mean, any thoughts? I mean, I think that everybody's reading way too much into it, and some stuff's being floated around that's just speculation. And I don't know. I think it's pretty simple that they moved on from Carlos. He was going to let him go, and the time ticked on, and they were like, maybe we can get a discount on him and see what we can do that's when they went back in. But I think that they didn't ghost him. I think they were just, you're going to walk, we're going to Pena, we're moving on. This is what we're going to do. I think that's pretty much that we're cutting ties and we wish you the best, Carlos. I think that's what it was.
And I would have 100% bought that if like earlier in the week it wasn't the reports that Crane was they were going to re-engage and there was everyone was excited about a deal and then nothing. I think there's something to the ghosting.
I think that's when they went back in. I think that's when they thought about it.
And then they just couldn't, because 3,105, even with the opt-outs, like that's not Correa money.
Well, it's not a real deal. It's for the Twins. I understand why they could compete. So that's a favorable deal for really both sides. But honestly, that's all smoke and mirrors because it's a 1-year deal for Carlos Correa to go back to the open market and get his super contract, which is what it's going to do. And that's like, no, we're not gonna do that deal and just prolong this for 1 more year when we have an idea of what our plan is going to be. So I think people that are like, we could have given them that. What are they doing? They're yelling at the ownership. No, that's just knowing what your plan is and doing it moving forward. I would have been mad if they gave him that deal. I wouldn't have been mad, but I think he would have gone back next year and the Yankees shortstop opens back up or they have more money. I think that's what would happen.
That's actually interesting. That's actually a really good point. And not that I hadn't really considered that. But I also don't know why, even if it is just a 1-year deal, because Pena was hurt a lot of last season, and even a 1-year deal, the 1-year deal is essentially what it is, or if it's a 3-year deal with 2 opt-outs, you get a full season, another season to develop. There's a Twins fan that I follow that is really good. He was like, it gives the Twins, the premier free agent, and it lets them sort of develop it develops their shortstop prospect, gives them kind of another year, to sort of get ready for it. So it's a win-win for everybody. Carlos gets his highest infielder AAV contract ever. Boris wins because the next contract that he signs, which is going to be in about 11 months, is going to be all his because he's so low on commissions right now. And yeah, the ones that lose are us fans, and no one cares about that.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, you're 100% right. I'm not mad at it. We love Carlos, but I'm just not.
We good?
Yeah, this is great, going great. Yeah, going great. So yeah. Actually, one of those dogs, the Zool dog, got me, and I've been talking to Gozer for the last 10 minutes, and it hadn't. So
I mean, no, that's a good reason to step aside. That's a classic episode 169 event, right there.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah, that's pretty much what the Gozer number. Yeah, they were just like, "Are you a god?" And obviously, I answered no, and I got that purple shit sprayed at me, and it wasn't. So I didn't learn from good old Ray Stantz.
Yeah, no, it happens.
Yeah. So hopefully, when you were talking, it was all good information that I definitely did hear, and I just agree with what you said. Whatever you were saying, I definitely.
No, so the Astros have moved on from Carlos Correa, and I think we can too. We can appreciate what he did. There's no hard feelings with Correa at all. He's still a Houston legend. He's on the Mount Rushmore. Good.
What do you make? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, so what do you make? And I feel like every week I'm saying something about just the culture and how I've been harping on the Twitter for a long time. But what do you make of the reaction? And also like Granado reporting that the Astros completely ghosted the last week and just didn't respond to Boris, and just there's seemingly contention between one of the two parties, which is very weird. I don't know why there would be, or why they would do that out of nowhere. So that's why I think there's more to the story. But that reaction has spilled into Twitter, and there's people just talking about booing Carlos when he comes back. Just, I mean, nut stuff, just stuff like that. Like, what are we? Or just, and the Astros, don't expect them to give a contract to Jordan or Tucker because they're just showing you what they're going to do. It's like, they're not. Carlos Correa is, that money is. They're at their core. The Astros believe that they can do more with less, and they can get that production and not spend that money. That's what they believe at their core. And I tend to agree with them because they haven't done anything wrong. They've been correct.
First of all, I don't think Granato would come out and say the Astros go, and that even got backed up by a couple of other people. And so I think there's something to that. It's going to be interesting to see kind of how the next couple of weeks play out when what really happened actually does sort of come out. But I totally I don't no universe or in dimension or whatever would I ever boo Carlos Correa. Like it's not that's not the play, and no one should be doing that. I would boo James Click to his face. And I would
you don't know the detail. You can't be mad until we know what happened.
I still okay. So I was tweeting through my feelings yesterday morning before my wife woke up, and I was like, I'm sitting here trying to think of a single solitary thing that James Click has done. And I understand, like, he re-signed Verlander, he re-signed Brantley. You do that in your sleep. He did make the trades for Matan, or however you say his name, and Kendall Graveman.
Very good moves, all part of the big picture. Yeah, they went back to a World Series. What else?
But like I can't. But again, it's too early. It's too early in his tenure. Like you couldn't adequately evaluate Luno until 2017.
Right, but he started with an empty slate that he built. Click, when you have a team that is World Series competing, you don't make big moves because you have the team. When you have the team, you don't make the same kind of moves that you do when you're building one. So I would argue that the opportunity is cut down to next to nothing, and if it's not advantageous for them to do it, big picture, he won't. So I don't think that's a fair. It's not a fair thing to judge him on, because that's not the job he has. He has a full team that's competing. He needs to fix, and contracts are big. Correa is a big thing you can talk about, but I don't think what has he not filled that was a glaring hole that he needed to do that was costly? Nothing. Because if there's nothing to do, he can't be blamed for not doing anything.
I would say that not when you're 27-year-old elite shortstop that put the team on his back and took and basically was the one to get out in front of the cameras. You don't let him go to the Twins for 3 years and $105 million. Like that's with Cole was always going to the Yankees. Springer.
I argue that he's a Cole. This is a Cole. Carlos Correa was leaving. He was going to go get that max contract. He wants 10 years. He wants the super contract. We weren't going to give it to him. And if you're not going to give him that deal, why would you risk doing the rental thing and just having him leave? If you think Pena's the guy and will be the guy, and you can do other stuff, why not cut the ties there and just be like, oh, we wish you the best. We're not going to sign you long term. We got nothing to offer you because you're already going. I think it's the same thing.
Yeah, and it's one of those things that we just don't have enough information to draw any sort of conclusion about what Correa did and what the Astros did. Like
it all happened fast, because I had a secret, very sneaky inside source that was, as of a couple days ago, Carlos was signing either that deal or a max deal, that he was re-signing with the Astros as a matter of working out some details. So I think that he used the Twins that offer as to drive up an offer from the Astros. Astros called the bluff And then he called the Astros bluff and signed with the Twins and just said, well, all right then. Because it happened out of nowhere. I mean, I was told that he was resigning and it was going to be something like more like a 5 or 6 year deal with the same kind of options as he got with the Twins, just as a kind of a gesture. And they were just working that out. So I don't know. And that was a few days ago. So
well, I mean, it was yesterday morning.
That's what I'm saying. The Twins came out of nowhere. They were never in the. I mean, I guess they had to have that Donaldson deal to even be able to offer it. So I don't know. That's still a pretty big deal to just kind of wing it out of nowhere. So I don't know if I don't know, but that's definitely not where he wants to be. And I don't know.
Daniela's officially the hottest woman in Minnesota, so she signed off on
it. Yeah, that's true actually. And yeah, I don't know if you know that, but Carlos is a huge Prince fan. So
I believe that.
And his favorite movie is Little Big League. So yeah, that's very true. He loves Little Big League.
I cannot wait for like the in-season Instagram posts from like Daniela when it's July and she's in a sweater and is like Eden Prairie is the best this time of year, and it's gonna be so great.
Yeah, she's just always has. She's
always to watch them try to embrace the Upper Midwest. It's gonna be glorious.
Yeah, and you know he's gonna. Yeah, he's gonna be sitting there and he's gonna be in his little camouflage underwear, but he's at a meat auction. Gets out of an Uber from a hardy lady named Karen that's been driving him around, and
taking him to the barn raising.
Well, honestly, though, I mean, Minnesota, the Twins make sense if you want to go to a team that is legendary in the postseason and losing consecutively. Like that is a team that is one of the best ever at it. At losing in the postseason, if you want to lose in the postseason and every time, then that is the team you want to go to. So that's
the one.
And to twist it back to the Astros, then yeah, at least he went to the Twins where they don't have to worry about them. They're not competing. They're not competing. They're not getting out of that division. It's just, and if they did, we know what would happen. So we wish Carlos the best. I do. He's the man. That will never be. Even if something was weird with this deal falling through, or he let his ego get the best of him or something, he's still the man, no matter what. He earned the right to go find a deal and go get the best thing for his family. So he's a hero to me as well. I mean, I'm gonna miss seeing that stature, that physique. Yep. What an absolute specimen. So
I saw some stat that the ballpark where he has the best numbers in his career is actually Target Field. He has like an OPS north of like 1,000, and I was like, well, yeah, I mean, because like he has like in 70 career plate appearances, and I was like, well, like 60 of those were that Memorial Day miracle game.
Those are all his RBI. Yeah, it's just one game.
It's just one game, but it looks really good on Baseball Reference.
Yeah, and also, to piggyback off that also, Daniela box stores Target is by far she spends the most money in Target, so she's very excited to be to partner up with him as well. So she's kind of complete her Nate Berkus collection of luxury hand towels and bath towels. So pretty sick. Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. So I guess for my real opinion is that if Pena's the man and they think he is and he is, then that's the move, because I would like if you get a replacement shortstop and now you have the ability to keep two players in Yordan and Tucker later, which you will have the money for, I'm okay with it. Yeah. I do, Click isn't Luno, but I do trust their front office and what they're doing. They know what they're doing, and we have no reason to doubt the plan. We just have to figure out kind of what happened, because they don't usually drop the ball like that. That was Houston Texans garbage. This was some McNair family just ridiculously.
I do every time they make a move that I do not understand. I go back to when Goldstein was on the Bozoathon, and we asked him, like, how much more information do you have than we have? And he's like, truckloads. And they've looked at the metrics and, bat speed and exit velocity of Jeremy Pena, and they have fully evaluated him. and they 100% believe that he can step in and be the guy. You
Yeah,
know, I just
and
want to know.
honest,
I just don't want to rely on like blind faith in a bunch of nerds.
I mean, if you're gonna have blind faith in anything other than the band Blind Faith, or yeah, it's nerds, you would want to have math nerds, because they don't anything outside influences affect them. The numbers are the numbers, and it's cold and it's soulless. But baseball seems to be something where you can get advantages and you can do it that way. So I can't do long division. So I'm against it wholeheartedly against math. It's one of the dumbest things ever. Still don't know why I had to take college algebra. It was unbelievable.
It is incredibly stupid. You're right.
I mean, what the fuck is a parabola? You know?
It doesn't. You want me to prove why this geometry thing works? Like, why are you lying to me about geometry? Like, I shouldn't have to prove that.
Yeah. There's some Greek guy that had little boy lovers and apprentices. We're gonna listen to them? Unbelievable. So so math is dumb, but Carlos, the leader thing, and the person he became when he learned to be vocal and confident. I think that vocal leader and presence is almost, and defensively he was an absolute blessing to watch. But his numbers, other than the cheat year, aren't crazy. They are very, very good, and he's amazing. But it's not unfeasible that somebody could offensively. Here, I'll pull up his numbers. They're not crazy. His average wasn't super high. He never had a monster power year. He's great. I love him, but it's still
his postseason numbers.
Yes,
his postseason numbers are the legend.
True. Yeah. No. And again, I don't. Yeah. I'm not saying this to say like, yeah, he wasn't that good. I'm saying that it's possible that somebody very good can be him. A career 277 hitter thus far, which is good. It's not crazy.
Yeah, you're not talking about a 320 guy.
No, I mean, and he never was that guy. But I guess for me, I thought we'd see bigger power numbers. You know? I mean, he didn't. He was very good, but he didn't drive in a lot of runs. I mean, he really did.
Part of that is because everybody ahead of him was driving in runs as well. And so I will
allow that.
The RBIs that has more to do with your teammates than it does with you per se.
Yeah,
per se is not the right phrase necessarily.
But I mean, and again, maybe I just had a wrong scouting report personally on Correa. But would if you had to put with a gun to your head, would you bet that he would not have a 30 home run season yet? That guy, that stature?
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
And really not even close. 26 was the closest.
When was that?
That's not great. That was last 19? Year.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not. He hit 315 the cheat year. That was his best year. Also, not as glaring as Marwin, but and didn't hit over 280 in any other year.
That's crazy. I would have thought 290 at least.
Yeah. And then you couple that with the injury bugs and stuff. So never mind. I'm off Carlos Correa. He is a hero. I'll clap for him. But you can replace this. It's not like you're not losing a power bat. You're losing a leader. You're losing a guy that was vocal and cursed out the Dodgers. We love him. Defensively, again, that arm was impressive. Watching him play defense was a absolute honor. But this isn't crazy. 837 OPS, okay. 481 slugging, all right.
That's an interesting take. And I hadn't quite thought about it like that.
What?
That's good.
Yeah, just going to the numbers.
Yeah, I mean, like a shortstop that can hit 25 home runs, like that's special. But it's not. And Pena, the big draw on Pena initially was his defense. But if you can if he hits 260, 270, with a little bit of pop when she shows. He's not replacing Correa, but he's matching what Correa gave you.
Which is essentially, yeah.
It's replacing. Yeah. Replacing numerically in the lineup.
So, and I'll just throw this out there, and this is, as always, it's something that I think of on the spot and has not been thought out at all. But I equate it to like what we said when Springer left, or before, when it was kind of up in the air, that him on this team, with this team and this group of guys, elevates his game. But you put a 22 home run guy, 270 hitter on the Twins with nobody else. That's not that great. But you mix that in with a World Series team with Hall of Famers on, with a Hall of Famer before him, and just people that behind him that can drive him in. I don't know. I don't want to disrespect Correa too much, because I don't. He's great, but I think he's great more as a presence than actual. And then again, the clutch home runs in the postseason, being the dude, those home runs and stuff, 100%. And also, let's not forget about he did get to have the game-winning hit in Game 7, and the potential. They hit a double. Didn't he get a double to give us the lead in 7th or 8th inning in Game 7? And
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
I don't remember what happened after that. I blacked out. And AJ Hinch, like, I'll tell you what happened. I completely dropped the ball, and I was negligent. So Clutch is. We're going to miss him, but I just want to take this positively that they can, numbers wise. You get a more confident Tucker coming back up. You get, we're still good. we're still very good.
I think one thing that we're gonna find out is that for Minnesota, Correa is going to be hitting. He's going to be hitting 3rd or 4th. He was hitting 6th or 7th with Houston, and that's where a lot of his value came. That you could put a hitter like that lower in the lineup, where the Twins need him to anchor that lineup and carry it. And all Carlos really had to do was just contribute. The entire offense, the game did not hinge on his performance that night. It was obviously, I'm sure that the numbers would bear out that the Astros did better the better Correa did. In any given game, but he wasn't expected to carry the entire team like he's going to be in Minnesota. And I'm not saying that to say that he can't. I'm not saying that he can't handle that sort of pressure. It's just that a lot of Correa's value came from him. The lineup was so stacked that you could put him 6th or 7th and still get that sort of production out of it.
100%. And also, I just, for Carlos's credit, I'd like to remind everybody that he is just 26. So he's maybe not necessarily even found his groove yet offensively. But I still would have not predicted that he would not have a 100 RBI or a 30 home run season yet. I'm looking at his size and the ballpark he was playing in. I would have guessed that he would, but maybe he's, and defensively, again, he's fantastic. So I don't know. I don't want this to come off like it's disrespectful. I want to give hope that those numbers, like it's a face, it's an idea, a part of those teams. That's the sad thing about this. It's not necessary on the field. If you just go to the brass nerd numbers, the Astros will be fine. It's just, missing him and not seeing that face, like Springer too. They didn't miss a beat. It's just, he's gone. And it's like at the end of it, really an error. That's one of the heads of the monster, the Cerberus. That's not the Cerberus. Yeah. What's the Hydra? One of the, whatever has those a bunch of heads. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it sucks, but what are you going to do? I think they're going to be okay. And I'm excited. I don't know if Pena's quite ready, but he's going to get he's going to have to learn.
He's going to have to get ready quick.
I'm still excited for baseball. So I don't know. I don't really have much else. I'll start watching some spring training games, and we'll
Wednesday is apparently when they'll start using like regular lineup guys, and not. I'm looking at lineups on Twitter. I'm like, I don't know who this person is. Like, where did this guy even come from?
You get invites. You get that's sometimes fun. and you're like, oh, I like this dude, and then you're like, yeah, he'll never, he's number 87. Like, okay, well, if you get a disrespectful number, that there's just
he's 30. He's 32 and at Fayetteville.
Fun, though, you get a camp invite and you're like a split squad guy, and you're a fringe guy that will never play professionally. I mean, be an MLB player, and just get up there, get to wear the big uniform, just like that'd be so sick.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah. So Ghost Rose. I guess we're gonna cut this a little short. There's not much else going on, and also I've got a big sex Easter orgy to get to because it's the sex number episode. We tricked you.
Got him.
Yeah. So it's 169. It's not even a sex number, but it's part of it. But yeah, so I'm good. I gotta get to Cole Hamill's house. He's we're picking. We got a blind vote on who's the worst minority. So that's after Junction Jack. Junction Jack does his sex Easter bunny hop around. So it should be fun. So happy sex Easter, everybody. Carlos Correa, we will miss you. And that's it. Goodbye forever.
Bye.
Bye.